In this video on functional groups, we're going to look at how amines occur. And amines are, they are a nitrogen group that is attached to a carbon chain, and you can have two hydrogens attached, or you can even have other carbon chains attached to that nitrogen. So you could see the nitrogen being in line with up to 3 things attached to it. So here are the rules, and you'll notice that these are much shorter than some of the other functional group rules. You are going to name the chain and add the word amine. If you have more than one connection happening on your nitrogen, you indicate it with an N. And I have seen, like you might see N, comma, to indicate that there's 2 things attached to that nitrogen group. You can have other branches and groups, and you could have even double bonds occur in the structure of the whole molecule. So let's look at some examples. In this first one, we have our amine group here on the end, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a butyl amine. All right. Looking at the next one on the right, we have our nitrogen group, and we have a 1,2 carbon chain, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have both an ethyl and a butyl, and we're going to put them in order alphabetically. So we have our butyl, and then we have our ethyl, and then we have amine. So that one is butyl ethyl amine. Looking down here on the left, we see that we have a 1,2 carbon group and we have a 1,2 carbon group. Now you have 2 things attached in the center. The common naming on this one, these are both ethyls. Because they're both ethyls, you can just call them diethyl amine. And technically, I would imagine that this would be N,N-ethyl amine. And actually, we should probably even have in here, we should have a di. So N,N-diethylamine. On the right, our last one, we see that this nitrogen has 3 things attached to it. So we're going to call this our chain. We have a 2-group chain, and this one would be our ethylamine. So we'll go ahead and start that name, ethylamine. And on our nitrogen, we have 2 methyls. So we have N,N, dimethyl ethylamine. N,N-dimethylethylamine. Here's a whopper. I was looking at this online and I thought I'd share it. You can see that you have 2 nitrogen groups, and they all have methyls attached to them, and there are 4. So we're going to say that we're going to call one of these nitrogens N and one N prime. So we have N, N, N prime, N prime, and there are tetra methyls. And now we have to name what's in the middle. And what's in the middle is a 2-carbon structure. So this is going to be ethylene amine. Now, yes, I see there's an E there. I looked all over. Every structure I saw has it written as ethylene amine, even though this appears to me as a single bond. So I'm going to go with I don't know exactly. I would assume that there's a reason that because this 2-carbon group is in the center, that it is an ethylene amine, but I could not substantiate why.